ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान् कृतांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। कार्तिक मंथ की आप सभी को बधाई हो। हैप्पी कार्तिक टू एवरीबडी। I was desperately missing all of you. सबकी मुझे बहुत याद थी, मतलब कि क्लास जरूर हो। और आई वाज थिंकिंग कि लाइक कार्तिक में ऑलरेडी हमने 7-8 दिन खराब कर दिए, हमें कुछ और भी टॉपिक्स के ऊपर डिस्कस करना चाहिए। तो वही है कि कितने लोग आप में से इंटरेस्टेड हो। जैसे एक मेरे पास बड़ी जबरदस्त बुक है, इसका नाम है वैष्णव सिद्धांत माला। ये है भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की लिखी हुई बुक, एंड इट्स अ बुक इन द क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर फॉर्म। जैसे हमारे प्रभुपाद ने बुक लिखी है ना, परफेक्ट क्वेश्चन परफेक्ट आंसर, बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से द सेम वे भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर हैज रिटन सर्टेन बुक्स आल्सो लाइक जैव धर्म, एंड दिस इज वन ऑफ द बुक्स, एंड इट्स एन अमेजिंग बुक। आई एम टेलिंग यू, वेरी अमेजिंग बुक। कितने सारे हमारे ऐसे क्वेश्चंस हैं स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ के अंदर, यू विल गेट द आंसर्स टू दोस क्वेश्चंस इन दिस बुक। एंड उसके साथ में वी कैन आल्सो स्टार्ट रीडिंग सम नाइस स्टोरी बुक्स ऑफ कृष्णा। मतलब ऐसी कुछ स्टोरीज जो हम लोग नॉर्मली अगर सुनेंगे तो मे बी हमारी अथॉरिटीज अलाउड ना करें, लेकिन अगर हम लोग उनको हर वृंदावन जैसे कार्तिक के महीने में सुनते हैं तो nobody would mind, you know. So there are so many books and so many good nice scriptures written by our acharyas. I'll speak in English or Hindi, like I want to know, because some people are comfortable with Hindi, some people are comfortable with both the language, but some people are comfortable.
Prabhuji, English, please. Prabhuji.
Okay, English, huh? So I'll just stick with the English only. And I'm also more comfortable. Kamal Roy Prabhu, there are so many books, if you know the Acharya books. One is Chamatkar Chandrika. Okay? This is Vaishnav Siddhant Mala. First, we will read Siddhant little bit. We should know the Siddhant. Unless we know the Tattva and Siddhant, we cannot understand the Krishna Leelas. Then there is a book, Damodar Leela. We can read something about the Damodar month and Damodar Leela. Book ka name is Chamatkar Chandrika. Chamatkar Chandrika. This is one of the books. I have so many books which I really want to share with everybody, and it would be nice if you can all share that. Okay, I have a group of devotees from Jharkhand जो कि केवल हिंदी समझते हैं, right? So Shyam Prabhu, if you can just translate them in English, or if people who can understand English, that is good, very good. This is like our thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay. So yes, so today we are going to discuss on a very amazing topic that is called Vaishnav Siddhant. वैष्णव एटिकेट्स जिसे कहते हैं, हाँ, वैष्णव सिद्धांत माला मेरे दिमाग में चढ़ी हुई है किताब, क्योंकि जब से मैंने ये किताब पढ़नी शुरू करी है, आई एम लाइक in ecstasy because so many questions and answers are given in such a beautiful way that I really want everybody to read this book with me, Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala. So we can maybe reschedule and we can read this uh, together, all of us, in the coming week, if you will allow me. So yes, so today we are going to discuss on Vaishnava etiquettes. You know, Vaishnava etiquettes, वैसे whosoever have attended my DT worship course, they're already excelled in Vaishnava etiquettes. Yeah, I mean, Hari Bol for all of you, because almost all the aspects I had already taken in that uh, particular course. But now we are going to do the detailed study. Like, uh, we study normally in our school. We study maths, English. Then in 11th and 12th, we take science or commerce or arts, humanities. And then, then when we take science, then when we are in graduation, then we do the specialization into one subject, right? That is physics or chemistry or biology or, mathematics or English or Hindi, like that. So specialization in one thing will always make your understanding about that particular subject more deeper. You'll have more deeper understanding of that particular subject. So we are going to talk about the most important thing that is called Vaishnava etiquettes, जिसके बारे में most of us don't know at all, or maybe we have some information or some knowledge. We know something, but we don't know everything, right? So before we start, we have our very special mantra which we always chant, right? That is Guruve Gaur Chandraye Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaye Krishna Bhaktaye Tad Bhaktaye Namo Namaha. Although this book is in front of you and you can easily read from this book, but when we have somebody who's reading for us, that can give us better understanding, right? So normally we'll start like introduction of the importance of Vaishnava etiquettes. Why Vaishnava etiquettes are important? One time in Braj, I was listening to one sadhu and he said very beautiful thing. He said if a naked woman will come in front of a exalted Vaishnava, like or in front of you, or who's doing tapasya or who's doing bhakti, no wise man would look at that naked woman. They will turn their face and they will say, "Oh, what have I seen?" And they will just close their eyes. They will not look at that naked woman. I remember outside Krishna Balaram temple, there was one Mataji who never used to have any clothes on her body and she used to go around. Whenever she used to come, everybody used to turn their face down, right? Because she doesn't have ornaments, she doesn't have clothes on her body. So, same way, bhakti. All the Vaishnava etiquettes are actually the ornaments of bhakti. So if we are not wearing those ornaments, those etiquettes on our bhakti or with the bhakti, Krishna would not look at our bhakti. Because for Krishna, our bhakti is completely naked without any ornament of etiquettes. So this is very important for all of us to understand. That Vaishnava etiquettes are very, very essential. Like Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioning Sanatana Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Sanatana Goswami, यद्यपि यो तुम्ही हो जगत पावन, तुम स्पर्शे पवित्र होए देव मुनिगण, तथापि भक्त स्वभाव मर्यादा रक्षण, मर्यादा पालन होए साधुर भूषण. My dear Sanatana Goswami, although you are the deliverer of the entire universe, and although you are even the demigods and great saints are purified by touching you, he is glorifying Sanatana Goswami in this way. It is the characteristics of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaishnava etiquette. And maintenance of the Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of a devotee. As I said, it's an ornament of a devotee, right? Then it says the Maryada Langhane Loka Kare Upahas Iha Loka Para Loka Dui Hai Nash. If one transgresses the law of etiquette, people make fun of him, and thus he is vanquished in both this world and the next. Oh, excuse me for 1 minute. Uh, Sorry, Hare Krishna. So many kids are shouting outside, you know. Two demons are already there in my house itself, and some of them outside. The demons, they belong to some different family. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya gave five important instructions to the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. Based on those instructions, the need was felt to write down this book, and based on that only, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada has set up so many special rules and regulations for us. Okay. First instruction is to scrutinizingly study all the revealed scriptures and extract the essence from all, and essence is bhakti. Okay. So we should all read scriptures very scrutinizingly. Like whenever we are reading, we should try to read between the lines. You know, we should not be reading just like for the heck of it. We should always have a pencil with us. Some devotees don't believe in marking in the book, but I personally feel if you're marking in the book, it's always good because that particular scripture belong to you, and if you're marking, then sometimes you remember it. So it's always important actually to have some notes, or otherwise if you look at a mark, or if you think that it's not ethically correct to mark, then you can write the notes. Okay. To excavate holy places of Krishna's Leela in Vrindavan, to make Vrindavan Dham a place that people from all around will come to take the shelter and be inspired by. So here it stands for Vrindavan. So Vrindavan doesn't mean only the Vrindavan in which I am living right now. Vrindavan means the Vrindavan, means that all the temples, Rupa said, they are actually Vaikuntha. So when we are actually creating a conducive environment in the temple, then people will get inspired and they will come and they will take the shelter of the temple. To build beautiful temples and install wonderful deities and teach the world proper method of deity worship, right? By their personal example to show the conduct of a Vaishnava and the proper etiquette among Vaishnavas. Lord Chaitanya considered this to be most important principle. Not only must be philanthropically strong, but we must understand how to have proper etiquette among each other, to our superior, to our junior, and to the Supreme Lord, and to the conditioned soul. So you remember one thing, huh? Whenever you are in the association of Vaishnavas, you're dealing with five things, five personalities. One, to those devotees who are junior than you. Second, those devotees who are senior than you. Third, those devotees who are of your age. Then you're dealing with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then you're dealing with the conditioned souls who are not devotees yet. So we need to learn, because of reading Prabhupada's books, we understand everything in one year, you know. But there are so many devotees, it takes them the whole life to understand when they're supposed to speak what. You know what I mean? We don't understand when are we going to speak what and how it's going to impact the person. Like His Holiness Bhakti Arja Preeti Vardhan Swami Maharaj, he was Preeti Vardhan Prabhu before. He's a principal of Mayapur Gurukul, that main person. So he was sharing one of his incident that they were going for Char Dham Yatra, and when they were walking, walking one day, and they got tired. And then, around 4 o'clock, they reached one ashram and they took the shelter in the ashram. They stayed in that ashram very nicely and like they were taking rest. Immediately at 9 o'clock, the manager came. I mean, hey, chalo, get up, get up. You guys are from ISKCON, right? Get up, get out of this place. And he said, like, when we came, he welcomed us so nicely. They greeted us so nicely. How come the management is completely changed and like they're behaving like this with us? Then he said, okay, we are just leaving now, but I want to know what happened. He said, because this particular ashram's mahant, when he was sick, he was in Ramakrishna Mission Hospital in Vrindavan. And he was actually admitted next to one Russian devotee. And that Russian devotee all the time used to say, you're Mayavadi, you're Mayavadi, you're Mayavadi. Huh? So, like, he always used to ignore that. But, one day when some devotees came and they were giving him prasadam and he took the prasadam away. He said, no, 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 don't give him prasadam. He's Mayavadi. And that particular thing hurt our guru so much that, he was really, really sad and devastated that, in Vrindavan, the Krishna Mahaprasad was not given to him. Although he was not from our sampradaya, but he was an exalted devotee, he fasted that day. Despite he was sick in the hospital, he fasted. And when he fasted, um, he fasted that day. And his disciples they got to know, and they also got hurt, and they felt very bad also. So that's how we can see how important it is for us to have the proper etiquettes. Because Krishna Mahaprasad belonged to even the dog or the hogs or everybody whosoever exists in this world. You cannot differentiate and you cannot say that who is Mayavadi or who is what. You know. So we all have to learn such etiquettes, and to learn those etiquettes, we need to have such kind of sessions on the regular basis. You should know how to deal with people, how to speak to them, how to have proper. Well, I remember I went for Chardham Yatra and we stayed in one Mayavadi ashram and they welcomed us very nicely. And our devotees also they were very happy. He said ki our Guruji is giving class, please come and sit. So our all the devotees they went and they went for the class. We don't know what he was speaking. We couldn't understand much because he was speaking like his Mayavadi philosophy. But we very sincerely sat and after that, he said, Ki, we have some devotees from ISKCON. They want to do some kirtan. And we did such an ecstatic kirtan for 45 minutes, such an ecstatic kirtan for 45 minutes, that everybody was like astonished. And when we were leaving in the morning, that person who was the monk of that ashram, he had tears in his eyes. So we have to understand that the Vaishnava etiquettes are very important because it's not because we are Vaishnavas or we are not Vaishnavas. We often say, I'm not a Vaishnava. I'm just trying to be one. If anybody would come to you and say, hey, you are a Karmi, then you will say, hey, I'm a Vaishnava. Look at my Kantimala and look at my tilak. Right? But when we are sitting among devotees to show our fake humility, we often say, yeah, I'm not even a Vaishnava. I'm just trying to be one, right? So you learn from here what is Vaishnava etiquettes, and then you try to imbibe that in your life, and then you decide on your own, or let other people decide whether you're a Vaishnava or not. The fifth thing is said, establish Vaishnava etiquettes through their writing as well as through their behavior. Behavior, huh? Very good example how that scholarly person he came, Digvijay Pandit. I think it was even Digvijay Pandit, I guess. He came to, Rupa Goswami and said, hey, chal, let's do Shastrartha. So you said, Rupa Goswami said, Shastras for what? He said, either let's do Shastras or else you write on the piece of paper that you got defeated by me. I've heard Rupa Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Rupa Goswami, your name so many times from people around. He said, okay, just give me a piece of paper. And he wrote that I have been defeated by this great scholar, and he's a very, very big scholar, and Radhe Shah. He was going, and on the way, he met Jiva Goswami. He said, ha ha ha, I have defeated your guru. He said, what do you mean by my guru? He said, you see, Rupa Goswami is a guru now. I've defeated your guru. See, he has written a letter now. I said, oh, is it? He said, yeah. Okay. So you have seen the guru now. Let's meet the chela also. No? I said, okay, let's sit. And then he started defeating him. Taka tak, taka tak. He said, okay, let's continue our conversation next day. So 4 or 5 days continuously, Jeev Goswami defeated him so badly, that he said, now you write on a piece of paper that you got defeated by Srila Rupa Goswami, and he wrote that, on the paper. And he brought it to Rupa Goswami. He said, "Hello, Gurudev, one offering to you." And Rupa Goswami already was like, because he was his nephew and he was very scholarly. Although Jiva Goswami was very sincere, but still Rupa Goswami had this idea in his mind that if I'll ever support him, or if I'll ever give him a lot of importance, my other people may not like it. You know what I mean? Everybody would say he's doing a favor to his nephew. That's the reason he did not give him diksha that easily. It took him so long for Jiv Goswami to get diksha from Srila Rupa Goswami Pad. And then, when he said that, when he saw that, he freaked out completely and he said, what kind of Vaishnava you are? 4 or 5 days you made him sit and you defeated him. Every day he was getting hurt. His heart was, crying that I'm getting defeated again and again. Do you think I could not defeat him? I could have also defeated him. But Jive Daya Krishnam Sarva Dharmastha. The actual Vaishnava etiquette is being compassionate on all the living entities. And when Jiva Goswami heard this, he said he felt bad, and then he said, "Forget it, get out of Vrindavan. You don't deserve to be in Vrindavan." And he immediately gave him up. Although in his heart, Rupa Goswami was very happy, because whenever any guru sees that his disciple has defeated somebody, go be the upper siddhanta, and establish his own siddhant, he's always happy. But to set up the proper etiquettes, he had to take this decision. He had to take this decision. And this is called Vaishnava etiquettes, or establishing etiquettes through your behavior. So many times Prabhupada, he used to drink water like this, he used to eat apple like this. So he was just teaching us, how are we supposed to eat? When we are getting Mahaprasad, we're not supposed to, like that, licking our hand. This is not etiquette, He was teaching us how we are supposed to pick up the apple or piece of prasadam, and from the top eating it so that our hand is not getting juta. And then the sixth etiquette, he said, by their own personal conduct to show what are the duties of one in the renounced order of life. So establishing actually sannyas ashram, this is very important. So the essence is, I always say, simple living and high thinking, and devotee should always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Samartavya sitatam Vishnu, vismartavyana jatuchit. So this is very important for us to have this etiquettes. Okay? Etiquettes from being humble to everything. बहुत ही अच्छी बुक है. कुछ चीजें ऐसी लिखी हुई हैं जो कि बहुत institutionalized है. Or that is also important for us because, okay, excuse me for my beard because I'm fasting. But anyways, Prabhupada has mentioned in one of the books that one can shave every Purnima. So I shave mostly on Purnimas. So that's why I'm keeping my beard. So don't say that he's speaking on Vaishnava etiquettes and he himself does not have etiquettes. Hare Krishna. So being humble, in the old days, would travel in the palanquin. When I was reading this Nectar of Devotion, in Nectar of Devotion, it is mentioned that one should not go to temple while wearing shoes. One should not go to temple मतलब you should not enter inside the temple with the shoes. One should not enter inside the temple with the car or the scooty. One should not you know, uh, पालकी क्यों नहीं आना चाहिए? क्योंकि हमेशा ना हम वी आर द सर्वेंट ऑफ द सर्वेंट, पहले कोई अपने मालिक से मिलने आएगा तो क्या इंप्रेशन रहेगा, राइट? तो एक्चुअली वी हैव टू गिव अप आवर enjoying mentality. To give up that enjoying mentality, we should be actually going to temple. We should remove our shoes outside the temple, and after removing our shoes, we should always wash our mouth, our hands, and our feet. Always, whenever you're entering inside the temple, you should remove your shoes outside. It should not be like कि भगवान की छाती पे जाके हम अपने removing our slippers on the chest of the Lord. We should remove it like from distance, a little far, and it should not be. Suppose there are some temples in which the deities are just opposite to you, and the temple boundary is just in the beginning. So what sometimes what devotees they do, they remove the slippers in front of the temple. It shouldn't be in front of the temple. The Lord should not be seeing your slippers. You should always move it aside, right? And we should not going with the kingly mentality that I'm a king, and I'm the enjoyer. So this is very important for us to be humble. So when we are entering, going to temple, ठीक है, इसमें ना बहुत सारी categories. There are so many categories it has. One is the etiquettes within the temple. Then other etiquettes like handling the sacred items and personal habits, kirtan, dancing, speech, prasadam, kitchen standards, honoring and serving prasadam, dealing with different categories of devotees, ठीक है, dealing with non-devotees. So we are going to discuss all sadhana, how to do japa and everything. So this is a very important book. I don't think so we'll be able to complete in 3 days, but let's see how much we can be complete in 3 days, right? Agar if we have to extend, I will request you guys. We can extend also if you will allow. Definitely we will extend also. So now the topic is like offering obeisances. Acha, this is a very commonly seen mistake which people often comment when they are actually entering inside the temple. What is the right way to enter inside the temple? This is not written in this book, but I'm mentioning you now. In the ancient time we used to have ghanti. Tan ghanti bajake hum log we used to enter inside the temple. So why were we ringing the bell? Because the bell is actually the notification to the Lord that whatever position or whatever lila you're in, because we are not, for us, they are not deities, they are not Vigraha. For us, the Lord is Himself. Sorry, they are not Murti, they are not statue. This is for Vigraha for us, but the Lord is actually standing there, and He is like doing the Nitya Lila. Like if it is, suppose, if it's an evening time 4 to 6, then it's a Gocharan Lila going on. And if the Lord is not doing Gocharan in front of our eyes, eternally He's doing it. So when the Lord is performing His Vaishnava, his Leela, so we should not disturb Him completely like that. So we all used to turn, or if you don't have any ghanti in the temple, you should always knock the door, tuck tuck, always. If you have a room dedicated to the deities, tuck tuck, always knock the door before you enter inside that room. It's a very, 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 very important etiquette. And as soon as you knock, you do at least Panchang Pranam. Panchang Pranam means you can see in the picture. This is the Panchang Pranam. And immediately when you enter inside the temple, you should pay obeisances to first all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatru vaishya kripa sindhu bhav evacha patita nam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. And after paying obeisances to the Vaishnavas, then you should get up and then you should, on your knees only, you should say Krishna Balram ki jai, Radha Sham Sundar Lita Vishaka Sakhi ki jai, गौर निताई की जय. We should always say jai to the deities of that particular temple. ठीक है? And then first we go to Srila Prabhupada. And then we pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, the full Danvat. We do the full Danvat to Srila Prabhupada. And when we are doing this full Danvat to Srila Prabhupada, we do the Pranam Mantra, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Iti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gaurvani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shamyavadi, Paschatya Desha Tarine, Vancha Kalpatrubhesha, Kripa Sindhu Bhav Evacha, Patita Ram Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Sometimes in some of the temples they have multiple gurus. So then you can get up and then you can again pay obeisances to the next guru or the prominent acharya or the present guru of that particular temple or the guru of that particular person. Should pay obeisances to him also. And you can, agar if you don't have time much, then you can only say Vancha Kalpatru Vesha, Kripa Sindhu Bhavevacha, Patita Nam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Namo Namo. The reason behind chanting this mantra at the time of entering is also because we all know that whenever we are paying obeisances, we always say that the Lord, in front of the Lord, we have all the demigods, especially Narad Muni, Brahma, Shiv, Mata Rani, or if we have Ramchandra deities and we have Hanumanji, all of them, they are taking darshan of the deities. So we enter, before entering, we pay obeisances to them. Then we pay pranam to our Guru. And then, then we pay pranam, then we do the obeisances to the Lord. So when we go towards the Lord, then we pay obeisances. We always start from the left, like left where whatever the deity is in the left, we pay obeisances to that first. Like in our Krishna Balram altar, Prabhupada used to pay obeisances to Krishna, to Gaurnitai, then Krishna Balram, and then Radha Shyam Sundar and Lalita Vishakha. So same way, like suppose we have an example of Punjabi Bagh temple. In Punjabi Bagh temple, when we enter, we pay obeisances to Krishna Balram altar first. Then we get up and we pay obeisances to Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Then we get up and then we pay obeisances to Radha Radhika Ramanji. In Juhu temple, suppose we first pay obeisances to Gaunitai, then Radha Rasbihari, then we pay obeisances to Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. So we go that way. And when we are paying obeisances, we pay obeisances and in such a way so that when our head is towards the Lord is on our left side and we are looking at the Lord. And when we are paying obeisances, we should chant the pranam mantra. Like suppose Nityanand Mahaprabhu Gaunitai khade hai. So we will say Nityanand Aham Nomi, Sarvanand Karam Param, Hari Nam Pradam Devam, Avduta Shiromanim. उसी तरीके से we will pay obeisances to आनंद लीला महाविग्रहाय हिमा दिव्य शैवी सुंदराय तस्मै महाबा प्रेमस्पदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्त रूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्त शक्तिकं. Acha, this is also a doubt people they have. We should pay obeisances from down to up or from up to down, right? According to the proper understanding I have, because we have already paid obeisances to our Guru, so we should be first paying obeisances to the main deities, the bigger deities. चाहे वो गौरीताई हो, चाहे वो कृष्ण बलराम हो, चाहे वो राधे श्याम हो. So first we do pranam to Radhe Shyam, like or Mahaprabhu Nityanand Prabhu, then to Panchatattva, then to 6 Goswamis, and then to Guru Varga. So for 6 Goswami and Guru Varga, we just chant pranam mantra like Vancha Kalpatru Vaishya Kripa Siddhu Bhavevcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. So this way we pay obeisances. And then we get up and then we again sit on our knees and then we do the full danvat to the second deities. Then the same way we do danvat to the third deities. So when we are taking the darshan of the deities, how are we supposed to take the darshan of the deities? So after offering offices to the deities, one should take darshan with a great devotion and beg for their mercy. So B point says that one should not, however, immediately look upon the deity full in the face. अरे यार भगवान का मुंह तो बहुत सुंदर लग रहा है नहीं. The proper manner is in which one should take the darshan is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, second chapter and 13th verse. The process of meditation should begin from the lotus feet of the Lord and progress to the smiling face. The meditation should be concentrated upon the lotus feet, then the calves, then the thighs, then, the higher and higher. And the more the mind becomes fixed on different part of the limbs, one after another, the more the intelligence becomes purified. How the intelligence become purified? When we are looking at the lotus feet of the Lord, immediately we should think about the gopis and we should think about the Rasila, how Krishna is putting his feet on the breast of the gopis. Or else we can see the same Krishna, same feet of the Lord, which were dancing like amazingly on the hood of Kaliyanag, right? The same lotus feet, Krishna would dance on our feet also. And then when we are meditating on the thighs of the Lord, we are seeing, oh, the Lord, he is actually climbing sometime Sridham, Sudam, Madhu Mangal on their shoulder. And like when he's playing around with his friends, right? And of course, like, the his uh, from his thighs, he's getting little tribhanga because his kamar is getting little bit twisted. So we can see the tribhanga form. So we can see how beautiful he's looking as a tribhanga, right? Then we are talking about the hands and the basuri of the Lord. Then we can think about the different pastimes of the Lord. How he played, flute, the same flute for the Ras Leela. How he used to play the same flute to call all the cows and calves while he's doing the Gocharan Leela, right? And how he used to play the same flute when he's coming back from Gocharan Leela at the time of Godhuli, and how all the gopis and all the Brajvasis, they used to be on the terrace just to look at Krishna when he's coming back. That used to be the festival actually, when Krishna is coming back from the Gocharan Leela. Oh my God, so beautiful, When you go to Nandagaon and all, you can get that feeling actually, especially in the evening time. And when you go to Terikadam, you can see that how Krishna is, playing different kind of flutes, and how that, there's one pujari there, and every time he just like act like Krishna and he's playing. He said, "This is the Kalyug mobile. You have Kalyug mobile phone." Krishna used to have this as mobile phone, and he used to play his flute, and he used to call all the devotees. So and then the same face, such a beautiful face. Whenever Yashoda Maya used to see that face, she used to get fainted. Oh my God, my Krishna is so beautiful. Whenever Radharani used to see Krishna, she used to fall in love, or she sees Krishna, she falls in love with Krishna more and more and more and more every day, ever increasing love. So this is only and only and only possible when we are actually meditating on the deities in this way, right? So whenever I am dressing Radha Shyam Sundar or Krishna, sometimes I dress Krishna, sometimes. Well, actually, I'm always assisting my Shiksha Guru, Mukund Datta Prabhu. So I'm first we start from putting actually the toenails, toe rings, and then the pile, and then then I'm tying Krishna's veil, sorry, kamar pe kamar band hota hai, and then we are putting the belt on Krishna, and then we are putting the necklace on Krishna, then we are putting the earrings, and after like decorating the down part of Krishna, at last we actually do the pagdi, you know. So we are even dressing Krishna in that. So this is a very amazing thing which you should know, how we should take darshan of the Lord. It's very important for us to know. So Srila Prabhupada explained in the purport and that such meditation will help us to get detached from the sense gratification. The mood of the devotee taking darshan is, Sir, I'm your eternal servant. Please let me know how can I serve you. The function of the big deities in the temple are for giving darshan and usually are the Ishtadev of the Sampradaya. So it is quite natural and respectful to see them first. Okay? So there are also other considerations. If there are three altars, such as same thing which I said, Krishna Balram, so like so devotees like to see Guru first, but you know, so we should always take Krishna darshan in the descending order. While taking darshan, one may stand at the side of the darshan. We should always go to the side of the Lord. We should never be in front of the Lord, because when we are exactly in front of the Lord, people who are behind us cannot see the Lord properly. So we should be always humble, and we should be like aside. It's very important. Okay? And sitting posture. So you can see this. These are two very sitting postures. There are some postures which are not ethically correct. They are these kind of positions, showing the feet to the Lord. You know. So let's see what Prabhupada says here. There are several regulations regarding one's sitting posture. While sitting, one should not expose one's feet to the deities or point them at the spiritual master, Tulsi Devi, etc. The feet should always be covered. That's the reason we wear dhoti, ताकि we can actually cover our feet with a dhoti. One should, as far as possible, avoid sitting with one's back to the deities or the Vyasasana. You know, Vyasasana should not be in the back. In the sense, when somebody is giving katha, that time his back should not be. One should not spread one's leg before the deities. One should not sit before the deities holding one's ankle, elbow, or knees. And one should not fall asleep while sitting before the deities. Okay? This is very important how we are supposed to sit. Not talking. Don't talk loud. Don't fight. Don't chastise anyone. Don't speak harshly or speak angry. Don't praise yourself. Hey, Sharma ji, अरे आपसे बड़ा महान व्यक्ति तो कोई है ही नहीं. You are the most, Sharma ji, you are the most amazing person in the world. I've never seen, after the Lord only it's you. So don't praise anybody else like this. When you are praising a Vaishnava in a proper way, with the proper etiquettes, with the proper manner, then it's a different thing. Otherwise, we should not praise anybody who's living in front of us. Speaking ill names, like, you know, for example, hey, Chintu, idra. Like, if his name is Ankush Babbar, you should call him Ankush Babbar only. One should not call him Chintu, right? Right, Ankush?
Yes.
So we should not call people by their funny names. We should not criticize demigods. Yeah, this is a very important point. आज के टाइम में अभी recently one of my friend, he just recently got married, and he was like very tense, and he came to me and he said like, Prabhu, can you just see my chart? I said, I saw your chart. You have 28 gunas matching. When you offered the garland to your wife, you just looking at her. You were looking at her like as if like the dream girl of your life has come in front of you. He said, Prabhu, everything is okay. Well, you're all the time praising her cooking. You're all the time telling people that please come to my house and eat because my wife is a very good cook. Everything is going very nicely. She's also supporting you in all the way. What's the problem? He said, Prabhuji, she's not keeping this Karva Chauth Vrata. I said, why is she not keeping Karva Chauth Vrata? You ever tried to understand? Maybe she has some physical problem. He said, no, Prabhuji. She's saying that she doesn't want to worship any demigod. I said, this is keeping keeping Karva Chauth Vrata is ethically correct or wrong, or Vaishnava way it is right or wrong. I don't care about it. But what I care about is that we should not be making such comments, the demigods or this and that. This is not ethically correct, because we are very fortunate that we are in this human body, and we got this opportunity to serve the Lord. All these demigods, they have spiritual body, not spiritual like completely spiritual, but their body is better than us. Our bodies stink. We have to go to toilet. We have to pass stool. But these demigods, they don't have to do all that. Their body is divya. Their body is ever fragrant. Their body is, and they are very, very, very dear to the Lord. That's the reason they are working for the Lord. They're serving the Lord. One person is Vayu Dev, one person is Indra Dev, one person is Jal Devta, one person is somebody else. But we have to be very, very, very respectful to all the demigods. Indulge in prasalpa or mundane talks. We should not be talking like, oh ho, Sharma ji, what to say, Vermaji's daughter has run away with Guptaji's son, So these kind of talk should not be there. Don't lie in front of the deities, which is very important. Huh? And talk nearby devotees who are chanting the holy name of the Lord. Sometimes devotees are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Oh Sharma ji, kya hal chal? And you are just talking, and without considering that somebody is actually sitting and chanting. So this is very important for us to have this proper understanding. One may speak in front of the deities to guests and devotees if it is help in preaching or enhancing their Krishna consciousness, but all other talks should be conducted outside the temple. Like when a new person comes, often they stop and they ask, Prabhuji, can you tell me why are you paying obeisances like this? So that moment, Kirtan is going on, right? And we are and sometimes Bhagavatam is going on. But very quietly, we always have to give them the answer that the Lord should be on our side. And whenever the Lord is behind, in front of the Lord, all the demigods are paying obeisances and they are actually taking darshan of the Lord. So we don't want to show the feet. That's why we don't pay obeisances like this, but rather we pay obeisances like this, right? And uh, then we also it's a very important point came in my mind. When you're pointing out to the deities, like who is he, this ungli is not good. We should always say like this, or not the left hand with the right hand. Prabhuji, this is Gaunitai. These are Gaunitai. He is Nityanand Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. और नीचे देखोगे तो they are पंच तत्व, and this is all the Goswamis and our Guru Varga. And Prabhuji, this is Tulsi Maharani. So we should have this etiquettes to show our hands like this, not to like this. I mean, can you see that? Oh, those deities, yeah. No, don't be funny, yeah. Don't be funny, and don't be so this thing now. It's pointing out to finger. Why we are not using first finger when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Because this index finger is considered very inauspicious for so many reasons. One of the reasons is like putting our nose, eyes, and everything, so it's contaminated. But one of the major reasons is that we always point out to people with this finger. Okay, this guy is wrong, this wrong guy is bad, this guy is this guy is that. So these are not the etiquettes. Because of that reason, we have rejected this finger. Thank God that Prabhupada did not say just cut the finger. So we should always have such kind of attitude, like a behavior, which is a very submissive behavior. And we should be showing our fingers, our hands like this. With this gesture, we actually show to the Lord, And now the dress and the appearance. This is a very important thing in front of the deities. Sometimes people they say, "Hum to deenaheen hai. I'm a very poor person," and they go with torn clothes in front of the Lord. Sometimes they are like not wearing appropriate clothes. Sometimes you will see the dhoti. They lift the dhoti up, and the dhoti become, a shorts, which is up to their knees. So these kind of way people are wearing clothes sometimes, which is not ethically correct. Let's see what it says. A devotee clothes must be simple, clean, and distinctive, so as to remind people of Krishna. When coming to the temple, devotee should dress as follow, like dhoti and kurta, and Mataji should be wearing saris. If not saris, then of course, according to region, they wear clothes. So sometimes it's good. It's okay to have a suit or something. Some places they have ghagra choli, the gopi dress, which is to some extent is also okay. But Prabhupada had said that the woman should be wearing only sari, which is like very strongly. He actually said that couple of places. For both men and women, clothing should be simple and not fashionable and opulent. They should not be very flashy. They should not be very when Kamal Prabhu is entering in the temple, so it doesn't look that Kamal Prabhu is coming. It seems like some Sethji is coming, and everybody is saying, "Yes, Sethji aage," right, Kamal Prabhu? So unnecessary items like perfume.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry, I'm being funny, Just to
No,
keep
no,
everybody together.
no, no issues, no issues. No
Just to tell
issues.
you that I have my eyes on you.
Exactly.
So yeah, so you should not be wearing perfume. There should not be so many cosmetic or makeup on your face. It should be avoided, because simplicity is always good. And yeah, it should not be like your hair are like disheveled completely, huh? And मुंह पूरा के पूरा काला हो रखा है, and like you're completely drained from your work, and you didn't even wash your face. It's not like that. It should be like neat and clean face with the tilak on, with the comb hair if you have hair, and if you don't have hair, then it should be like completely nicely. Hair should not be like and Mataji should not go to the temple with the open hair. Anyways, in the evening, going to temple in the open hair is always risky because all the bhutas and pretas they catch some kind of personalities who have open hair. And one time, like this is a very so many times we've heard this particular statement. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one time one person asked you, who is a devotee? He said, anybody whosoever has chanted once the holy name of the Lord is a devotee. Second year again the same question was asked, and then he said, any devotee, any person who's all the time chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a devotee. And then third time when somebody asked, that he said, now you have a mature understanding, so let me tell you, anybody you see and you think about Krishna is a devotee. So we have to understand that whether we are properly dressed up or not, or whether properly ready or not. Because when we are going in the public or when we are going to meet people, are we making people remember Krishna or not? This is very important. Huh? So it's very important for us to have proper clothes. It should not be like worn out. It should not be like old. It should not be, phate hue kapde. It should not be like looking as if like we have no etiquettes to go in front of the Lord. Even Surdas. He was staying in Vrindavan, and every day he used to take darshan of Bhagya Vihari. Every day he used to go to take darshan. And then everybody used to make fun of him that look at this guy. Every day he goes to Yamuna, no matter cold or winter. Like in the morning he would go and then he would decorate his forehead with the tilak and then proper chandan on the whole face. He himself cannot see him. He cannot see himself, but every day he's getting up very nicely, ready, and then coming in front of the Lord. So they said, let me not, Pujari thought, let me not put any clothes on the Lord and let me see what he thinks or what he sees. So first of all, then he came, then he saw, and then he Dekhe Hari Nangam Nanga. Like the Lord does not have any clothes, so he started laughing. You Lord, where actually your clothes have gone, and you are like completely naked. So then then somebody asked you like, you decorate yourself so nicely like this, you cannot see. So what if I cannot see? What if I cannot see the Lord? I dressed up properly so that Lord can see me. And our Acharya Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada also said that we should act in such a way so that the Lord would come and see us. And this is what exactly Gopeshwar Mahadev did. When Gopeshwar Mahadev got the body of Gopeshwar Gopi, he was not directly, he didn't enter directly in with Krishna to dance. He was managing the door and he was letting only Kripa Siddh, Sadhan Siddh, or Nitya Siddh gopis to enter into the Ras Mandal. He was stopping everybody whosoever was non-deserving candidate and he was sending them back. So seeing that sincerity, Krishna fell in love with Gopeshwar Gopi and he danced with Gopeshwar Gopi. Right? So this is very important. Bolo Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Gopeshwar Mahadev is very merciful. So we should always dress up properly so that we can see that the Lord is going to see us, and other people who are not devotees, if they will see us with the proper clothes, they will get inspired to become devotees. Tilak. One should always decorate the body and the tilak at the 12 places. I told you, I taught you how to put those tilaks. I don't know how many of you are putting it, but it is very important that we should do that. Here, it's very important point. Brahmacharis and sannyasis must shave their head once a week and keep shikha. Grasta may do the same. However, according to the service, they may keep their hair short and neat, and if possible, a small shikha. Although there seems to be no shastric injunction regarding the size of the shikha, but the Gaudiya Vaishnava traditionally keep the shikha about the size of the calf's hoof print. यानी कि इतने गोल. प्रभुपाद कहते हैं कि इससे बड़ी अगर शिखा होती है तो you belong to some different sampradaya. The shikha may be of any length, but it should not be kept, well, it should not be bigger, like this much here, bigger like that, It should be this much, but it can be long, no problem. And even if it is long, you should tie it nicely. Because जब कोई मरता है, when somebody dies in your family, or suppose if you are passing stool in the morning, only these are the time when you open your shikha. And when you open your shikha, it's considered very inauspicious if you're doing any devotional activity when your shikha is open. So if you cannot suppose if you cannot tie your shikha because it's small, then you can use a rubber band, but it should be like tied. So, and while you're tying a shikha, you should chant Gayatri mantra, Brahma Gayatri, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Or you can, some people they say that you can chant Kama Gayatri when you're tying your shikha. This is very important. Shikha लड़कियों की तरह जैसे लड़कियां, the way Mataji's make the braids, it should not be braided like that. And it should be like simple. And women and Matajis should have long hair, but they should be tied also. It shouldn't be open. Kanthi mala, devotee should have kanthi mala. I have a little bigger one, but there's no need to have such a bigger one. Devotees who are not initiated, they wear either 1 round or 2 round. Devotees who are initiated, they wear 3 round kanthi mala. Tulsi beads worn around the neck indicates a devotee's surrender to the Lord. कहते हैं कि this is a patta, like we are the dogs of Krishna. So Yamraj and Yamrut will not come and take us, Like in the normal street, we see if the dog is a paltu dog or is a pet dog, then the municipality car would not take that particular dog. They will take all the dogs who are just wandering here and there. So same way, if we are wearing Kanti Mala, we are actually wearing a patta of Krishna. This is one funny reason. But actually, when we are wearing Kanti Mala, because Tulsi purifies us. So when we are wearing Kanti Mala, so we are all the time getting purified actually. Let's see what it says. A person is an offender if he wears Tulsi neck beads simply to imitate a Vaishnava but is not seriously tying surrender to the Lord. Actually, one time, what happened, one devotee went to Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, I've started following 4 regulated principles and now you see I have a Kanti Mala. So now I become a devotee. Prabhupada said, you rascal, you become a human being now. So Prabhupada was very strong at times. Because when we are following 4 regulative principles, no meat eating, no illicit sex, and no gambling, and no illicit sex, no gambling, no meat eating,
No intoxication.
no intoxication. Kalyani, very good. Because I'm far away from intoxication, so that's the reason it didn't come in my mind.
Yes.
So yeah, so these 4 things when we are following, we are actually on the platform of human being. So it is advisable not to wear beads if one is not following the 4 regulative principle. Some devotees also wear other kinds of auspicious mala, either made of tulsi beads or lotus seeds, or rope from Jagannath Rath or silk pavitra while performing puja, japa, or other sacred function. These should be removed when bathing or leaving the temple or house while going to toilet. Okay? Sometimes you must have seen the pavitri sannyasis are wearing. That particular thing should be removed immediately when you're going to the toilet or when you're going outside. Kanti mala is worn permanently for the beads protect one from the bad dreams accidents, attacked by weapon, and the servants of Yamraj, of course. Upon seeing the Tulsi Mala, the Yamadutas flee like leaves scattered by the wind. Devotees who are not following the basic principles, particularly the chanting of the holy name and four regulatory principles, should not wear kantimala. Strictly speaking, once the kantimala is worn, even onion and garlic should not pass down the throat. Very important. Huh? And one should therefore advise new devotees accordingly. Sometimes the devotees they take tea and coffee as a medicine, then it's okay. Otherwise, it is always recommended. One should not wear that. Mustaches and beards. Devotees who are initiated or preparing to be initiated should not have mustaches or beard. Prabhupada sometimes used to have, but for some time he had after initiation, but he did not wear it even local. Later on, also in later life of him, he did not have mustaches. It may be noted, however, that some Vaishnavas, matas, men shave their face and head once in a fortnight or full night. And in Chaturmas period, they do not shave at all. But our standard is to shave on the regular basis with the odd exception of yatras or some other justificable reasons. So once in a month is the standard which is mentioned by Prabhupada also. So, but it's up to you how you take it. But keeping beard all the time is not good. Cleanliness and hygiene. As mentioned earlier, the fresh clothes must be worn in the temple. After take prasadam, this is a very important point. After one takes prasadam, the area where the plate was kept must be clean. One should not step over the area where prasadam was taken, sorry. And because it is considered contaminated. The place where we take prasadam becomes contaminated. And if we one step on the spot, then feet must be washed. The place where the prasadam has been taken must be clean right after the prasadam has been taken. Because the temple must be very clean. We should be careful that we do not unnecessarily contaminate the temple. This is very important thing. When we are having prasadam, first of all, we should not use our left hand for the prasadam. I've seen devotees are very expert in even peeling the banana with their right hand itself. So when we're eating prasadam, after eating prasadam, with that juta plate, we take to the sink. So when suppose we're washing the plate, we should keep the plate down and first we should wash our hands. Then we should not do kulla on the plate. This is highly unethical. We should wash our mouth, then again wash our hand. Then we should pick up the plate and then we can do the gargle and then we can spit out whatever is there in the mouth. Then you can wash your plate. Unless your hand is been washed, you cannot wash the plate. Then you wash the plate, then you take a soap and then you wash your plate again with the soap. And after washing the plate, you keep the plate and then you wash your hand and then you wash the tap. Upar se. This is the proper etiquette to have prasadam. You should always and always wash the tap after you're done with washing your hands and the plate. One should not enter temple hall without having washed one's hands and feet, as I told you before. After eating also, you should wash our hand and feet. One should enter temple with clean hands and feet. One should take bath after passing stool and then enter the temple hall. This is another etiquette. Let me add one more thing that, of course, we clean our private part with the water. But when we are taking a shower, we should actually clean our private parts with the soap also. This is very, very important. And then again, we should wash our hand and then we should wash our feet and we should take proper bath. Suppose if it's winters and you cannot take proper bath, at least you should not have any clothes on your body while you're passing stool, or you can have a gamcha around your waist. After the gamcha, you're passing stool in the gamcha and cleaning your private parts, you can put some water on yourself, little bit, maybe not on your head completely, so you can put just some water on your head, but on your body you should put, no matter how sick you are, if you put water on your body, it will be always good for you. Head, I can understand, sometimes you get cold. One should not enter a temple after visiting a crematorium ground or touching a dead body. One must take first proper bath and then enter. One should not also, like, suppose cleaning the toilet, you have cleaned the toilet, and then you just, like, without taking bath, you came out. That is also ethically not correct. One should not pass air or, belch means the car lena within a temple. One should avoid putting one's finger on one's mouth, ear, nose, and one should compel to do even outside the temple. Uh, when one is compelled to do this, one's hand must be washed immediately thereafter. During their menstrual period, Mataji may visit a temple, but they may not perform any item of deity worship like arati, dressing, cooking, garland, or any other work that requires. Even I've seen Matajis don't go to temple, which is also ethically correct. But suppose if it is your Nitya Seva to go to the temple, then maybe you can go and you can just go to the place where nobody can touch you, or just like go and just do your pranam or take darshan and then immediately come out, right? And at this time, such Mataji should avoid being in the physical contact with anybody who is or will be in the service of the deities. Like, this is also very important point. कि like, अरे प्रभु जी क्या हाल चाल, कभी कभी माता जी किसी पुजारी पे हाथ रख दें, या कभी माता जी ऐसे चल रही है कि उनको कुछ दिखाई नहीं दे रहा और वो अपनी मस्ती में चली जा रही है, शी इज जस्ट वॉकिंग इन हर ओन world, and immediately clash with the pujari. So it is considered seva aparadh, and which is not good. They may attend Tulsi Aarti, but they are not supposed to offer water to Tulsi Maharani. I have seen 2-3 times when Matajis are offering Tulsi, water to Tulsi during the menses, Tulsi goes away. It doesn't happen once or twice. I've seen like 5 to 6 times. Under all circumstances, chanting on one's japa bead should continue. There can be no material impediment to the chanting of the Lord. And as far as one's home is concerned, Mataji should try to maintain the above standards where possible. In some cases, may not be practical and possible to do that, so there may be no one else available to do the cooking, etc. Like, in my house, whenever my wife is not clean, I do the cooking and I do the deity worship completely. Uh, in that case, but suppose if I am not at home and my children are crying for food, then of course my wife has to enter in the kitchen. So what I do normally, I keep some sugar and some salt aside. And because mostly the kids, they are crying for to eat something, either she would heat up what has been already cooked, or she will boil milk. From after like giving milk to children, she would, I mean, to give milk to children, she would need some sugar. So I keep sugar aside. And after like 3 days, when her menses are over, fourth day, she takes bath with little haldi in the water. And that cleans the whole thing, and she washes her hair, which is very important. Other members of the family, as far as possible, should help in this regard. Yeah. General behavior. One should always remember that one is a devotee and is representing Guru and Krishna, whether in temple, at home, or at work, in the office, or outside the street. So one should conduct in such a way that draws appreciation to our Guru Varga and our institution. Devotee should not wear expensive and flashy looking jewelries, wristwatches, or jewelry for women must be worn with careful moderation. Chain, bracelet, and all these things should not be too much. I remember when I got engaged, my wife's parents, they left for Meerut, and my wife stayed back because she was going to her friend's place to come back to Vrindavan next day. And whatever jewelry my mother had offered to my wife gave it back to my mother. And she said, Ki, Mummy, our jewelry is Kanti Mala, and I don't want any kind of jewelry. Since then, she never wore any, only sometimes she wear golden earrings, which is very important. And she's wearing sometimes, mostly she's wearing the toe rings, and of course the anklets, which is like made of silver. But more than that, it should not be there. As far as possible, devotee should avoid using any item made of leather, knowing them to be the result of animal slaughter, unless unavoidable in one's service. Like, you have to go to office, so you have to wear leather shoes or bags and all. So then, you can maybe look for some slaughterhouse, or you can look for some goshala where the cow is died on her own. So you can take the skin of that particular cow and you can get that made for yourself. Even when one is criticized or offended, one should conduct oneself with dignity. Very important, huh? Don't get angry immediately. While one may certainly take precautions against one's cheated or take actions where necessary, one should be careful to avoid picking up the quarrel, indulging on useless arguments, and so on. When you forget that you're a devotee and then you start abusing each other. Srila Rupa Goswami says, devotee must be very particular while dealing with the opposite sex, like Mataji and Prabhuji, which is very important because sometimes people they misunderstand your conduct, sometimes people they misunderstand your actions. Sometimes when you're very friendly, people they think that you have wrong intention, which doesn't happen always, but you have to be very careful, because you never know what's going on in the mind of other person. Very, very, very careful. I've seen people are spotless, completely spotless, but they were like wrongly accused. You know, they're so they're so strong as a grasta that they don't. You never see them being loose with their own wives. They're so strong, living with full of etiquettes. But anybody can point out to your character. So every woman should be addressed as Mataji, or if you have a close relationship, then you can maybe call her Ma or Maya. That will give you the feeling of calling other women as Mataji. But of course, Mataji is our standard, so we should call Mataji and Prabhuji. You know, if the Mataji is like younger, you can maybe call her by name or you can call her Didi like that. But there's nothing wrong in calling any woman as Mataji. Srila Rupa Goswami says that a devotee must not be neglectful in ordinary dealing. In other words, one should not give up basic courtesy and formalities considering them to be mundane. To touch someone one with feet is offensive. मतलब कहा जाता है कि if you're touching the feet of somebody, you are actually saying that person go to hell because you're giving your karma to him. But you can just pay obeisances and bow down. But sometimes when you have love, like your parents and somebody um, elderly come to your family, you know, or somebody who is a devotee, but for you he's more than a devotee. That time you can touch the feet, because that is our culture also. But agar if you're paying obeisances, that is more like our culture as a Vaishnava. You know, if one has to walk past seated devotees in temple, for example, one should extend one's hand to indicate that one wishes to go. It should not be that you're stepping on a devotee's thighs and ankle and just like walking like an elephant, mast hathi ki tarah chalte ja rahe hain, and like breaking the leg of devotees. It should not be like that. If by accident one touches the devotees with one's feet, one should touch the devotee's body gently with the hand and one's right hand to one's head. Touch the head like that. Sorry, bro. But it should not be like you're touching anywhere. It's very important. You have to be very, very, very careful while attending the classes. I'm like it's a very long thing. So let's continue tomorrow, right? Anybody has any question? I'm already 10 minutes extra. Anybody has any question can ask. Hare Krishna, Dhanup Pranam.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
हाँ जी बताइए. Do you have a question?
Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji, I have one question, Prabhuji.
हाँ कल्याणी बताइए.
Prabhuji, in during period time, Is it allowed to clean the vessels, inside vessels, Prabhuji?
Inside the temple?
No,
Hello?
Prabhuji, in the house, inside vessels are there for cooking, Prabhuji. Is
Yeah,
it
Mataji, but you know what you can
allowed
do?
to
Huh.
Mataji's?
Mataji, what you can do? You can, with the powder, with the powder, where you have powder for cleaning, keep little bit of tulsi dust from the tulsi. Or if anybody coming from Vrindavan, ask them to bring some brajraj, and you wash little bit, put little bit of that mitti on the pots. Then the pots would be clean. Are you getting my point? Because
Yes,
any utensils which you will be using to offer the bhoga to the Lord, huh, or to cook for the Lord,
yes, Prabhuji.
should not be washed by contaminated women. But you are a Vaishnavi, and Vaishnavis are never contaminated. That's what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, because they're chanting the holy name of the Lord. So in that case, what you can do, you can take a little bit of dust, and then you can put the dust, or you can mix little dust with the soap, and you can wash all those utensils, and they'll be completely clean. Right, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Karuna Avatar Prabhu, any
Because
question? Any other question anybody has?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हाँ प्रभु जी।
अच्छा, वो आपने एक बोला था ना, वो मुस्टक एंड बियर्ड के रिगार्डिंग दैट इट इज रिटन इन चतुर्मास पीरियड दे शुड नॉट सेव एट ऑल, तो यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है
that is not recommended in our ISKCON. In
Okay,
our
okay.
ISKCON, we are not supposed to keep beards for 4 months and all.
Okay, okay.
You know,
Okay,
when
okay.
in Rome, do as Romans do, right?
Okay, okay, yes.
So, but yeah, Prabhupada has mentioned in one place that that some Vaishnavas, they cut their hair or they shave themselves once in a month on the day of Purnamashi, full
Okay,
moon.
okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So some people they don't want to keep beard intentionally, but they are following this particular concept of shaving once in a month.
Okay,
Which is
okay,
also
okay.
ethically correct.
Okay, Prabhuji.
But
Okay,
suppose if you have service as a preacher, no, but you
yes,
have
yes.
service as a preacher, then you should be following what your authority says.
Okay, Prabhuji.
You know what I mean?
Okay, okay. So, Prabhuji, another question. The question is that sometimes, as we see here, I staying at Maipalpur in Delhi. So we have our center over here. So people comes. So sometimes I see the dress are completely incompatible, which they should come in temple. So somebody's wearing tracksuit, somebody's wearing sports wear, or somebody's come in Bermudas. So how should we react to them? Because we cannot directly approach and say that this is the wrong dress, you just go. So we have to, however, we have to pacify them, and you have to tell in that way so that they should not get angry. So how to deal with that?
Yeah, see, I told you in the beginning only that we have to deal with 5 kinds of people. One is a devotee who is a new devotee. Second is a devotee of your age. Third is a devotee who is senior to you. Fourth is the Lord, and fifth is the non-devotee. So most of the people like this, they fall under the category of newly joined devotees or non-devotees. So if they are non-devotees, if they're taking darshan, they'll get purified. When you are dressed up properly, automatically they will come to you and they will ask, Prabhu, how do you tie dhoti? Then you encourage them, ki, like, you bring the dhoti, I will tie you. Or you say, Prabhu, you come, I will bring my dhoti and I'll tie dhoti to you. So it's up to you, Kamal Prabhu, how do you make a relationship with that person? Because if they are already old, then they should have these etiquettes.
Yes,
If they don't have those etiquettes, you cannot tell them anything. You know, it's just if you are dressed up properly, and if 10 people are dressed up properly, automatically rest of the people will dress up properly only. You know, if they are not dressed up once or twice properly, next time they will be dressed up properly. Are you getting my point?
Yes,
And
yes.
you cannot judge on the basis of the clothes, because sometimes devotees are coming back from office, sometimes devotees are coming back from gym, sometimes devotees are coming from the back, from the walk, right? So in that case, at least they're coming to temple. We should appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
we cannot judge anybody on the basis of their clothes. So this is a very
Yes,
important thing.
yes.
Right?
Yes. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
ठीक है. So we will read Chetan. We will continue this book tomorrow, and then on Tuesday, day after tomorrow, 3 days. Let's see if we can finish the book. I'll try to take the major points in this. And thank you so much for tolerating me, and thank you so much for being with me.
Prabhuji, any
One
special
chapter.
class on Karthik on Saturday or next Saturday or Sunday is very auspicious day. Diwali is coming, so I think any special class on Karthik month.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be taking classes on the regular basis now. I will not leave you guys.
Yes. We want that.
Okay. Yeah. 14th or 15th too. I'm a little busy because 14th my brother-in-law has Golden Puja.
Okay.
15th Mukund Datta Prabhu has a Govardhan Puja in his house, and 16th I have Govardhan Puja in my house.
So Govardhan Puja is actually on 16th, right? So how
exactly? But we celebrate day before. Prabhuji celebrate day before.
Okay.
So that he can do his services in temple.
Okay.
And yeah, so we are all trying, Prabhu. We are all very fired up to do the Govardhan Puja. And
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but maybe this session we can take it for 4 days.
Can we have on class on 18th? That is Srila Prabhupada's disappearance date is very auspicious day. Actually.
Yeah. We can take a class on Prabhupada disappearance day.
So that will be very nice. Yes.
Yeah. I'll definitely update you on that.
Exactly.
And of course, this Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala, I want to start on the regular basis.
Yeah. We want that. We want that.
Will help you so much. Like one of the questions, how can one know the truth about the Lord? Bhagavad Tattva. कैसे जान सकते हो? He can be known by the soul's own self-manifest innate knowledge. यानी स्वतः सिद्ध ज्ञान. भगवान को जानने के लिए स्वतः सिद्ध ज्ञान की जरूरत है. What is the self-manifested knowledge? यानी what is स्वतः सिद्ध ज्ञान? So there are two types of knowledge. Self-manifested, yani स्वतः सिद्ध ज्ञान, and that which depends on the senses. Indriya pratantra ज्ञान. See, you didn't know that, right? So self-manifest knowledge is that which is inherently a feature of the pure soul's original spiritual form or the Swarupa. And it is eternal, just like all spiritual reality. This inherent self-manifest knowledge is called Veda or Amanaya. This pure knowledge or the Swataha Siddh Gyan has appeared along with the conditioned soul in the material world in the form of the Vedas, namely the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sam Veda, Atharva Veda. Ordinary people collect knowledge of various objects by the help of their material senses, and this is called Indriya Pratantra Gyan. This is just a trailer. इतना amazing book है ना, such an amazing book कि अगर हम इसको सादा पढ़ेंगे ना, तो you will really enjoy it. And I would love to share all this with you as well, right? So, can one know the truth about Bhagwan by this Indriya Pratantra Gyan? This question hai. Now, our Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying no. Bhagwan, the Supreme Person, is beyond the scope of all material senses. For this reason, he is known as Adhokshaja. Adhokshaja means the one who cannot be known or understood by material senses. The knowledge acquired from the senses, as well as the material speculation and the logic generates from the mind with the help of the senses, always remains very far from giving a true concept of knowledge, the true conception of Bhagwan. Isliye we have to read the scriptures. Okay, so I will take your leave. Vancha kalpatru vaishya kripa sindhuva cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। साई गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि
जय।
हरि
हरि बोल
हरि बोल।
हरि बोल।
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्णा। हरे
हरे
कृष्णा।
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
हरे बोल। डॉक्टर
Thank you,
मोरे,
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
श्रुति माता जी, हरे कृष्णा।